coaches. So Cameron, Brooke, Regan, who came halfway through the year, and Ross, who started for the year. Also the people that stepped up around the tour time. So Ollie, Rob, other Ollie, who all stepped up and helped with the coaching. Without these people, the full-time coaches that are doing it, helping every week in, week out, and those people that help with the tours, we wouldn't be able to do these things. So just a round of applause for the kids, for the coaches. For the two tours, to go to under 16s, to go to Ireland and play what was put in front of you and win all your games was tremendous. You're not talking about a place that's just learning rugby. This is a place that's played rugby since it pretty much started. And you went, all of you from different places. Some of the teams you're playing against, they'll have been playing with each other since they were kids. 5, 6 years old. And you went and you won all those games. That was tremendous and deserves a round of applause. Under 12s and under 14s in Valencia, again another tremendous trip. Both unfortunate to lose in the final. The under 12s came up against a very strong team. They are the Spanish champions, I believe. Came up against the Spanish champions and unfortunately came up second best. Under 14s, the less we say about losing a 21-0 lead, probably the better. But it just shows you how close games can be, and sometimes the rub of the green goes against you, and hopefully that's something we all learn. So the next time we have a tournament, we can do things slightly better. That's our round of applause to the 12s and 14s as well. Final thank you, because I've had it in 2 speeches and he's never been there to thank. So I thank this individual at the Dominion Youth Awards. I also had something in my oval ball speech which I took out because he wasn't there to thank him. Now, we couldn't have done any of this without a manager behind organising everything. So if Dave can stand up as he's recording. Dave's organisation was great in Valencia. The stories we got back from some of the boys in the Cork tour as well, of him going through the halls of the hotel just to make sure everyone was in bed at the curfew and all those sort of things is tremendous. It shows the dedication that Dave has to make sure that everything went smoothly. Also, as probably a lot of people don't know, Dave does this all on a voluntary basis. So he tends to have a real job, but this takes most of his time. Okay, thanks, Dave.
All right, guys.
Good luck to everyone here. I'm going to surprise the rest of you. It's Brooke and Cam have done the selection of the awards, so I'll be standing at the back as excited waiting to see who wins. Just remember, all of you have done tremendously well. Even if you don't win the award today, it would have been the individuals that do get the award wouldn't be able to do this unless they had their teammates playing with them. Okay?
Okay, so the way it's going to work today is a little bit different to the normal age grade awards. There's a few different categories that we've decided to also use this year. But what we're going to ask you to do is that we'll go through each category, and when the recipients come up, I'll ask you to stay up here. One thing that seems to be getting stronger and stronger every year with this academy setup is the intermingling between the age groups, right, which is a good show of certainly the direction that we want to go as a club and become more of a club. So what we're going to do is we'll call out the categories of the awards. We announce the award recipients, but you'll all stand up here as award recipients. Okay, so the first set of awards are the most improved. Right, and each age group has been identified as having a lot of most improved players. And one thing that we've got with the academy setup is that we've already got players who are up here, who are already a very high standard. We terms of their skills, in terms of their techniques, in terms of their attitude. We've got some players who are probably starting the season down here as well. But it's about the total improvement throughout the season. And so this is always one that creates lots of conversations about who is the most improved in those age groups. So as we call out the names, we'll ask you to come up individually and then over the photographers to take the photos.
Okay, for under 11s, the most improved will go to 2 players. The award goes to Sierra Murray and Lewis Nelson. The under 12 most improved player goes to Melina Goldstein. Under 14 most improved Cameron Owen. And the under 16 most improved goes to Adam Smith.
Okay, so the next ones that we've got, this is a new award that we created this year, and so these categories are for the most promising players. So to start with, we're going to do the most promising forwards, and these categories go for the under 14s and the under 16s. The reason we look at most promising is that we identify that these players are already good, really good at what they're doing, and potentially with a couple of little tweaks in the way in which they progress, they have definitely the potential to go a long way. So these ones are actually quite exciting, both from a coach's perspective, but also certainly something that from a player's perspective, a good one to aspire to. So the first ones that we'll call out the most promising forwards.
Okay. Most promising forward for under 14s is Ross Nelson. The under 16 most promising forward, Mohammed. The under 14 most promising back is Gonzalo. Under 16 most promising back is JT.
And finally, for the most valuable players, for the different age groups. Again, a really difficult one to choose, and I think it kind of came down to a category of if we were to remove them, would that make a significant difference out of the equation? And so, again, something that's kind of special as the most valuable player, but certainly for us as coaches, definitely on par as those the most promising and those as the most improved. So for the most Most valuable player this year?
Most valuable player for under 11, Angus. Most valuable player for under 12, Ethan Jessup. The under 14 most valuable player, Michael Ryman. And the under 16 most valuable player, Dominic Jason. Finally, I just want to show a bit of appreciation from the club for Cameron and Dave. They've been with the academy for the last 3 years, and everything, all the success has been with the academy. Wouldn't have happened without them. So, just from the club, just get Dave up here. Get what I want. Got to say for Cam, I wasn't going to give him a bottle of wine, but I just told him to hold it until we win our next tournament. Thanks for coming. It's been a good season and hope to see you all next year.